when we connect to that stream of abundance, all of a sudden it appears. When you connect to the understanding that this is not really the reality, right? Of Black men being undergoing all of these different strifes and tribulations, and that's not really the reality, right? The reality is, for me, this is what I am going to agree to. This is what I'm going to sign my name and the dotted line on, because it's all in agreement. You're making an agreement energetically that this is what this is going to be like for you. And just because it happens doesn't mean that you agree to it, right? You may have not been conscious of it, and which is happening, which is what's happened, right? You weren't conscious or aware of certain things, and certain things perspired. But that doesn't mean that we continue to focus on that reality. That means that now we have the opportunity to create a completely new reality. Peace and prosperity. This is ESAIA Mystic, and welcome back to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Today I have another message for you to help you free your heart and soul. And today we're going to be talking about how there is absolutely no lack and shortage of men, and how there's this idea being thrown around, especially in Afro-Indigenous communities, that there is somehow this lack of men, lack of Black men specifically to go around. And so because of this, because Black men end up have these higher rates of basically not being successful in life and statistically poor, that we should actually be in favor of subscribing to things like polygamy, polygyny, polyamory, which is just another way for letting your man cheat and letting your man, allowing him to basically do all of the things, right, and take on multiple women, because that somehow helps you financially, it somehow helps you emotionally, it somehow helps you spiritually. And I've done other polygamy videos, okay? So I'm not really going to get into my feelings about polygamy in this video. But really what I want to communicate in this video and get across is how women really need to understand the truth of the matter, that there is no lack or shortage of men. Even if you are a Black woman or an Afro-Indigenous woman and you are looking, right, and you're desiring for a partner, you're desiring for, a man to come into your life. And when you have this mentality of, I need to do things and do this and do XYZ, because of the reality, right? Because of the reality of their not being, right? High rates of men being incarcerated, high rates of men being, really just, dumb. I'm just be honest, really just being dumb, low vibrational, low frequency, and not having enough connection to their spirituality to get themselves out of that situation. That's just what the truth of the matter is. And at the end of the day, a lot of Black women are just pure coddlers, like coddlers. You're pure coddlers. That's what you are. You coddle these men, right? And you coddle them and you enable, and you're okay with behavior and the ways of these men that are not righteous, that are degrading, that are low frequency, all in the name of what? Like having a man. And really it's because you're also stuck in this low frequency state of the hood life, this Black culture, right? I did a video on that as well about the spiritually hood community, right? It's like you're holding on to this low value, low class energy, and you can't take that with you into also having the higher frequency types of things, the higher frequency types of relationships, the higher frequency types of living. You can't bring that with you. So, you know, when it comes to Afro-Indigenous women and Black women and really understanding like the truth that there really is no lack or shortage of men, you also need to understand that the reality that you are basing your decisions off of is like old news. You're basing your decisions off of old news when you need to be basing your decisions off of new news, right? Off of the reality that you want to create. So you really need to ask yourself, do you want there to be a lack or a shortage of men? Do you want there to be not enough men to go around? Are you okay with that reality? Because if you are okay with that reality, then that's what you're going to accept. You're going to accept that reality. And the real and true, right, when you are able to really shift your mind and your perspective enough, the real and true reality is that there are men everywhere and they're lonely and they want love, right? And it honestly doesn't matter like if it's a Black man or if it's a white man, but in reference to this video, okay, and really what I'm talking about is like, even if they are Afro-Indigenous men, that doesn't mean that there is a lack of them. You only need one. You only need one. You don't need 10, 20, 100. You only need one, okay? And the truth of the matter is everybody's just not going to reproduce in this lifetime. Everybody's not going to find their one, right? Only the ones who actually get clear enough and align themselves enough to who they really are will they find their one. So the question you need to be asking yourself is, am I lining up with me enough so that I can call in that one and stop basing all of my decisions off of the dang statistics of the world, right? Because I want you thinking about everybody when you need to just be thinking about you. When you really need to just be thinking about your mindset, your mentality, your intentions. Because guess what? It's gonna be people who decide and go down paths in life that don't equate to what, you know, they don't get a relationship. Like, they don't get the relationship. They don't get the life that they want. They don't get the things. You know what I'm saying? But none of that matters if you're focusing on you. So focus on you. Okay? Stop focusing on the world and the worldly statistics. The law of attraction is a feminine principle, okay? That means that you need to understand that the reality you are creating is based off of either what you are observing on a day-to-day basis or what you decide to imagine for yourself and create on an energetic level. So pick and choose. You're going to keep perpetuating your reality based off of everything that you're seeing on a day-to-day basis, or are you going to be disciplined enough to cultivate the imagination, right, and the creative energy to have a new kind of energy image? Like, you'll be surprised the kinds of shifts that will happen on this planet if Afro-Indigenous women, Black women, stop thinking that they operate and they have to abide by these masculine infrastructures. You don't. Right? If every woman on the planet was to tap into their creative energy and tap into their imaginative power and stop giving power and energy away to the current realities and the current things that are happening and the current you know, the current things that when you observe, you know you don't like how you feel. But you ignore the feeling and you just decide to base your reality off of that bad feeling. Don't base your reality off of that bad feeling that you get when you think about all the horrible things that happen to Black men in the world. Base your emotional energy off of all of the wonderful and powerful things that you know that Afro-Indigenous men, Black men, and any kind of man is capable of. Base your decisions off of that, because that is going to create your new reality. That's going to create the abundant reality that you want. It's not going to be you deciding to basically rewind a couple 100,000 years and subscribe to, you know, just ways of living that may not be for you, right? Because this is the thing. Sometimes polygamy is just for you. Like, it's for you. Now, if you live in America, I don't recommend it, because you can't legally get married, or I don't even know if you could possibly lawfully get married in a polygamous way in America. I don't know, right? To my knowledge, I don't know, but from the surface level of what I know, it's not possible. That means that what's going to happen, right? Like, where's your foundation? Where's your backing? Like, how is this man backing you, right? And that's the whole point of you finding the one and becoming being in a sacred union, is this man is supposed to bring a solid foundation and stability for you and your future generations to come. I don't see that happening in Black communities and men that are practicing polygamy. I don't know. And if it is happening for you, but just share your story in the comments, you know, share yourself, right? Because for what I'm seeing is I'm seeing Afro-Indigenous women, Black women, just have these horrible, shitty mindsets around what they're worth in relationship to Black men. Like, literally, it's like when you get around a Black man, this part of you just feels so submissive, right? Submissive in a very toxic way. In a way to where you've lost all of yourself, your soul. Like, the whole power of you being a woman is usurped, and you're just a doormat. You're just a thing, right? Like, that does what he says, you know. I was watching like this little snippet on Instagram about how this guy was having a conversation with his friends in him and probably his girlfriend's living room, and in the midst of the conversation he told her, like, you need to go to the back, like, you need to go to the back of the house to another room, whatever, so the men can talk. And she was looking at him like, I'm not going anywhere, this is my house, like, I live here too. And it was a whole thing, right, in the comments, where people, mainly Black women, was like, well, I would have just went to the back. Like, what do I need to be around him for? You know, like, I would just went to the back. Or, you know, dusty guys in the comments talking about, she disrespectful, and she would have got, you know, she asking to get a whooping, and like, what? Like, I mean, it was just so trash. It was trash. And it's pathetic. And this is what I'm saying. You got to get your mind out of the gutter when it comes to what you're able to create for yourself. You can be abundant in your ability to attract the right man, the right relationship, right? You can be abundant in that area. So when you decide to leave that reality, that's when you'll actually begin to realize that there really is no lack or shortage of men. When I signed up for like 3 different dating sites last year. I currently don't use them, but this is when I was dating, and I signed up for 3 different dating apps. And within like a couple of months, I had over 500 to 1,000 guys that just was interested, right, in talking to me and getting to know me. And then when I actually went out on dates with a few of these guys, they were telling me how it's dry. Like, on their end of the stick, it is dry. Like, dry. Like, it's like they have to do a lot to just even get the chance to have a conversation with a quality woman, because it's so dry. Nobody's, now it's not like that on every dating site. It's different on each, different kind of dating site. And I'll get into that possibly in my New Love Manifesto course. We'll see which dating sites are the best to use and how to twerk them so that you can actually attract the right guy. Because a lot of dating coaches will tell you just don't even do online dating in general. But I feel like it can work out in your favor if you know how to use it as a woman. So I'm probably put that in the New Love Manifesto. So if you pre-enroll now, I will most likely just add that in, right? So the link to that is in my bio if you want to be a part of the New Love Manifesto. But this is my point here, though, is that there are so many men that are like, when I was in the dating world, like, they're everywhere, right? And they're lonely. They're struggling with their masculinity. They're trying to figure out, it's not like that for every guy, but on some level, they're like, really questioning, like, what's going on here? Because there's women who are so out of touch with their femininity. And of course, that will also cause an imbalance, right? They both cause an imbalance upon each other. You have to learn how to activate the goddess within you. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to believe that there is not enough out here for you, and you will continue to base your decisions on that. And what does that look like? Desperation. What does that look like? It looks like you doing things and subscribing to things that don't really resonate with you for the sake of masculinity validating you. It ain't even so he could be with you, but so he can validate you and give you some attention or whatever. There's an abundance here, okay? There's an abundance here on this planet, and that's what Earth is all about. It's about recognizing that there is abundance here, and the abundance that is here is reflected through our connection to our Earth feminine energy. When we connect to that stream of abundance, all of a sudden it appears. When you connect to the understanding that this is not really the reality, right? Of Black men undergoing all of these different strifes and tribulations, and that's not really the reality, right? The reality is, for me, this is what I am going to agree to. This is what I'm going to sign my name and the dotted line on, because it's all an agreement. You're making an agreement energetically that this is what this is going to be like for you. And just because it happens doesn't mean that you agree to it, right? You may have not been conscious of it, and which is happening, which is what's happened, right? You weren't conscious or aware of certain things, and certain things perspired. But that doesn't mean that we continue to focus on that reality. That means that now we have the opportunity to create a completely new reality. So I guarantee you, if women all over the world were to focus, especially Black and Afro-Indigenous women, were to focus their creative energy on the kind of men that they know that there is an abundance of, that they believe is an abundance of, then things will start to shift within the collective consciousness. Things will start to shift in our reality. You know, I can't tell you how, because that ain't up to us. It never is. But what you need to understand is you are in complete unison with the universal forces at play. And when you put your creative energies into a certain direction, those universal forces will begin to work its magic. How you gonna be running around talking about black girl magic and you can't understand that as the reality, right? It's because you're not disciplined in what you are giving your power away to. You're not. You are not. So it's time to relearn the way things actually work in this universe. It's time to actually relearn the way things work for you as a feminine woman. And I teach you all about that in the Love Potion. Pre-enroll now. So make sure you guys check out the Sacred Soul Academy. The link is down below in the description. This is an online academy for, right now I have currently a bunch of feminine energy courses for you to pre-enroll into. And if you decide to enroll into the Earth Feminine Bundle, which is all of the feminine energy courses that I have all together in one, you will be a part of the Winter Solstice Intensive, 3-month intensive that I'm going to be hosting for all the women who sign up. It's basically going to be weekly live Zoom calls for 3 months during the winter, where we're going to connect and we're going to really hash out what it means to be divinely feminine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There was a lot of other things that I wanted to add in here and say, but I feel like I got the main point across. So I'm gonna just go with it. Make sure, again, you like, subscribe, share this video with someone you feel like this will benefit. And let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video. Peace.